All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our special invitation. So, you might have been invited by someone who loves you and cares about you and just wants you to take a look at something that people are winning as beginners, or maybe have been at another company or another project and just didn't really have the success that they thought they would have. We're just going to have a conversation with another mom and hear her results about her getting started and her journey. She is an incredible mom. I got the honor of spending some time with her in a previous project that we did, and every single time that I was able to advance and get promoted, this cute little blonde was right next to me in the front row and on the stage, and it was like, who is this girl? And we quickly became friends, and I've just followed her success and her journey the entire way. We recently switched over to do something together, and she has been 1 year with our new company, and she has earned herself $140,000. No income claims. These are her stories, her results, her amazing team. But she's just going to share with us her journey and how she got started, and I'll ask you some questions along the way. She's a mom from Texas, and the floor is yours, Amy. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Well, I'm honored to be here. And I have to just say, Jen, whenever I saw her and I met her, I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I would have the opportunity to be able to work with her, like a part of the same team, because she's so amazing, so incredible, has great work ethic. So I'm just so excited that we actually get to do a project together, that is being successful and we're able to win at. So, anyways, thank you for having me. It's nice to meet everybody on here. Yeah, so I'll just start my journey. I think that I just was unemployable from birth, maybe. I just like thinking about going to a corporate job. I lasted there for, I don't know, maybe 6 months and got introduced to being able to work from home and shortly replaced my income with that and just completely fell in love with the freedom that it offers just to be able to be at home. And I always knew that I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom when I did have kids. And so I was just really excited about starting that journey and all the things that came along with it, the personal growth and development, being challenged to get in front of rooms and speak in front of people, things to get me out of my comfort zone. Because I grew up in a really small town in East Texas, and it was maybe not the coolest thing to be an entrepreneur out there. It was more like get a job, get good grades, go to the corporate world. And so what I quickly realized is that I could just make so much more money doing my own thing and being able to work from home. And it's just been the biggest blessing in my life. I started out with a company for over 12 years and really prided myself on staying committed. And I thought that, sometimes when I was younger, I would think like, okay, I'm supposed to be with one company forever. And now I've really discovered that sometimes, like, obviously things change and your gifts can be utilized in other ways. And you can also expand and be able to help your family better doing, like, just being open-minded to things. And so COVID happened and our company had to close their doors. It was really sad because I thought it would last forever and we had so much fun, built so many amazing relationships. And so that company led into us, I guess you could say merge in quotation marks. And it was a different industry. I was kicking and screaming and did not want to go. And it ended up being one of the biggest blessings of my life. I actually met a really great mentor there who just shifted my thinking about like utilizing my gifts in a bigger way. Was able to be top in sales in that company. And again, thought it would last forever. And slowly started having some inventory issues, some different things were happening with the company. Started to feel like I was letting people down because I didn't have access to the things I had before. Went to go get my hair done and met somebody who introduced me to a totally different opportunity. And again, I was hesitant, kicking and screaming. I tend to like hold on till the last minute until the wheels fall off. And so this opportunity has been very safe and amazing. Basically, her husband said, you worked so hard. You're one of the hardest workers I've ever seen, and I know you're not getting paid what you're worth, so you should take a look at what we're doing from home. You don't have to be on the phone all the time. You don't have time to be running around doing meetings all the time. You have a 5-year-old. He had 3 boys under 6 at the time. And so I just really trusted him. We had been friends for 20 years, and I took a look, and the rest has been history. It's just been absolutely amazing. I've been able to help so many more people than I ever could before. In the past, I could really win at a high level, but I couldn't bring people with me the way that I wanted to. And the illusion of freedom was not really there. I felt like I had to hustle and work 24/7. I felt like I was, missing some holidays. I remember, I don't even like Halloween. And I remember I was working for a promotion in the company and I didn't take my son trick-or-treating. And the fact that I don't even like the holiday, but I sent him to go trick-or-treat with my husband, I was like, I'm never doing that again. I don't want just for promotion or an advancement for me to miss a holiday. And so this new opportunity that I've been involved with, it's just given me so much freedom, so many systems. And I may surprise some people on here, but I actually got off social media for years and did not do one thing. All of the companies that I built to like number one or top 10 in sales, I did it organically, just with relationships and talking person to person, and was always intrigued in that area, but was really peaceful getting off of social media. And so now I feel like with this new opportunity, we have systems in place and I can do online stuff and still be in person, but have way more time freedom. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
I love that for you. And one of the reasons why we love doing these interviews is because it's not either or. There are people that, like social media and that's fine, but you and Trish and so many are like, no, I closed my accounts. Like Trish is like, I'm at barbecues and even Rob's friends are like, what's Trish doing? She's not on her phone anymore. And I'm pretty sure I know of that Halloween, don't we, Shanessa? Because Shanessa and I sat at that. It makes me want to cry because Shanessa and I sat at our kitchen tables after. Not only were we on the phone, I can't speak for her. I believe she was having a party, but I was trick or treating on the phone with my son, and her and I were literally up until 11:30 at night getting it done on Halloween night. And I don't ever want to do that again for my kids. And you just get wrapped up sometimes in and helping in the money, and it's good, but at the cost of your kids' memory is what. And sometimes we don't know that. So you started over here with a new project. How did it feel your first 30 days?
Okay, so my first 30 days were interesting. I had like one toe in basically. I wasn't sure if I really wanted to start a new project. I was really burnt out. Just disappointment of being let down by things that I thought were great. Now, I am very grateful. I'm very appreciative of every relationship that I made. I feel like I held on to some companies way too long because of the people. And at the end of the day, we did get in this to be successful and have freedom and leave a legacy for our kids. I think most of us wanted that. And so when I first got in, I was kind of just dipping my toe in the water. I remember my first month I decided to work. I worked 2 days of the whole month. And I actually advanced and hit a big deal in the company and got promoted. And I was like, wow, I worked literally 48 hours, like 2 days a month. I traveled the whole rest of the month. And it really opened my eyes to see, when I want to put in effort, I can. And I can be wildly successful with the time that if I'm intentional with that time, because we had such a good system that it just worked so well that I was able to just put in a little bit of effort. And I immediately saw major return on results. And that's what really woke me up to, okay, this is very fruitful. And what I was doing before is not being fruitful. So this is really worth my time. And so after that first 30 days is when I decided to really dive in.
I love it. And then, so we have some income claims your first 6 months, 9 months, and March. was 1 year. What were your big milestones?
Okay. Well, so many. I can't believe it. It just like whenever I think about it, when I think about what I did in the past to get what I got and what little reward it seems like it is now at this time, I'm so amazed at what God has done. It was crazy. Like I think I advanced like 19 times this year at least,
Oh,
which is crazy to me. And but the better part of that is that so many people I've been able to help advance. Like it's just crazy. 11 people in 1 month, like 11 women, 11 moms, and just seeing them excel and succeed, especially the moms or people that had never won before. They just really wanted this. They were trying so hard, they were struggling. And just to see them like be able to gift them something they can actually do that's not hard, that they can just follow simple steps and it actually works. It's just so rewarding. I had over four fully paid for, even airfare vacations. And before I was in a travel company, I didn't even have that many. And, I can't even count how many times like we were blessed to be in magazines and have articles. And just seeing our team win, I think it's really the most amazing part of it is really just to be able to help other people. And also help people in ministry. Like there's a lot of ministries that we got to help through this new project. And
mm,
it's just been awesome because there's such a bigger purpose for what we're doing.
yeah. I thought I was muted. Yeah, I love that. So you crossed six figures in a year. How does that feel?
It feels really, really good, actually. And it feels so good to know that I can help other people get six figures. And I had never been this confident. Like, I'm so confident that I can help somebody get six figures if they just do the work and they stick with it. And before, it was more like, well, I know they're going to have fun, or, I know they're going to be around good people, and like, cross my fingers, like, please, God, help them. Like, I hope they make it. Like I went from feeling that to like I know that I know that I know that they can win over here. And it just feels so good because you start to get doubt in your head like, okay, am I really cut out for this? Can I really make it? Do the systems really work? You hear all these stories of people actually having freedom and making six figures, but like for me, I couldn't get there. And I would be really, really successful and then couldn't bring anybody with me. And that was one of the big major reasons why I wanted to do this kind of business because it wasn't a corporate job where, I was just going for myself, getting a paycheck, not bringing others along with me. And so it's just been amazing to do that.
I love that you want to bring people with you. It's, as you've said, it's one thing to put in your own grind and your own hustle and your work, your own effort, but it's another thing when you can lead someone and it is less effort. I almost feel like the personal development and the unlearning that we have to do is that hustle and grind and work harder mentality. It's like it's okay to receive the gift of a customer, to receive the gift of an opportunity, to receive the gift of financial freedom. One thing I love about our project, and I was on when I saw you, I believe it was 2 to 3 months ago, and these are her income claims, but I saw it. She was driving in her car, and we do something called a check share, basically once a month, where we reveal how much we've made. So there is no secrets. There is no, I can remember previous companies would log into test back offices, and you're like, well, why aren't you showing me your back office? Like, how come I can't see what is really working for you? And they revealed your check. I think it was 3 months ago, and it was over. You didn't know. It was someone on the team revealed it to you, and that check was over $20,000. It makes me want to cry because I was in that moment. Can you share that
I
moment?
did cry. I did
Oh, I
cry.
know.
I know, and when I talk about this stuff, really have to like try not to cry. So you're not allowed to cry because if you cry, then I'm gonna cry and it'll be a mess. But no, I'm just kidding. No, they did, and he wouldn't let me look because he wanted to surprise. Like it was supposed to be a surprise anyway. You're supposed to never look, but he actually, the person who brought me to this new project, really wanted to celebrate me and like show it for me, and so he did, and I just. Yeah, and the emotion comes back because it was just so freeing. And it was just like I have such an amazing team of women. And it was just like, this is what we're supposed to do. This is how it's supposed to work. And it finally did. And so that was the moment that I was like, oh my gosh, this is better and more than I expected. Okay, well, now we're crying, so
I
that's fine.
know. I know. What's so great is even if you build a relationship on social media, like Shanessa and I started on social media during COVID, we didn't meet until after. But we've touched and we've hugged, and you and I have touched and we hugged. And it's that person that's at the 4 minute mile where you're like, well, if she can do it, I can do it. Even if it took me a year to get my $20,000 check because of life or kids or my own efforts and time, to know that you've done it suggests that I'm right behind you and I can do it as fast or as slow as I want to do it. But it's real.
Absolutely.
It's real for us. So thank
Yeah.
you for saying yes, because you led the way for, I mean, some people here you may not have met personally, but they know who you are.
I recognize some names on here that I was excited to see. And the fact that we maybe get an opportunity out of the country to hang out with each other, or at events or whatever coming up on this new project is really exciting to me. I can't wait to see the names that I've seen in our Telegram chats and like give these people huge hugs because it's just amazing. Like you cannot do anything by yourself, and just tipping a domino of one person can just, it's led to the most incredible, amazing people. I know we have guys too, but women are really special in my heart. And I love working with women. I love helping women. I love, building their confidence. And that's another thing this really did for me. Like whenever you start, when you're doing things and they're not working out and you're trying to show your child, like, this is freedom, this is legacy. Whenever you're not doing that, it can start wearing at your self-confidence, or, am I going to keep trying things that are not working? And everything that they told me about our new project from the beginning that I was kicking and screaming about, like, oh, it's safe here. Oh, you won't have to work 24/7. Oh, we have a system where like your phone won't ring. All the stuff. In the back of my head, I'm like, yeah. I bet. Like, I'm sure that's what they say, but is that really going to happen? And it was just so refreshing to see that now I say everything they told me because it's true.
Yeah.
So that's been really awesome.
I think a lot of us, I know you can type a one in the chat if maybe you have ever done a project and you intended for it to be the last project or the main project, the one that was going to allow you to quit your job, or pay the debt, buy the house, whatever it was, and you're left feeling disappointed. And if that person is out there watching, what advice would you say to them where they're like, I've heard this before. I don't know if I trust it. Is it really safe? Like this, I mean, you went through it too. I went through it. I'd like to say I'm not toe dipping anymore, but I did need to sit and make sure everyone else felt safe that I knew before I could bring people. For me, it was about, can I share this though? I'm willing to try it, but do I want to bring other people? I'm
Yeah.
still scared. So what would you tell me and some of my friends, our friends?
Yeah, so I mean, I just think that a lot of us, like, we just have that entrepreneurship in our blood. Like, we love helping people, we love giving people like an opportunity, and it's an opportunity of hope. And I feel like with me, this is a safe company that's been around forever, that, a lot of the other opportunities, they were, I don't know. They had the ability to be shut down, I guess. And in my mind, I don't feel like that's possible here because of the track record and the history. One thing that somebody told me when they brought me in was, can my friends get hurt here? And they can truly answer. And I feel like I can truly answer and say, no, nobody can get hurt. If they come in here, they're going to get something valuable. They're going to get, a system. They're going to get a team. They're going to get support. We're not going anywhere. I can't foresee inventory issues or, something like a pandemic, maybe closing this down. Like I just see this as a very safe, and I've seen the proof. I've met the people. I've seen the time frame that they've been there. I've never been a part of a project that had such a long history. It was more of the new shiny object, or like this is sexy and cool. Like stable things didn't sound sexy and cool when I was younger. I'm like, oh, going around the world and never working and being on my phone at the beach. That sounds sexy, but like really just doing something that you can do repetitively, that's very easy, that you can duplicate with others, that it's so simple that other people can do it. Like somebody said, that's the new sexy, is like stable, predictable income that's gonna last, that you have in a safe place. And so everything that I thought, all my hesitations, were just blown out of the water. Every time I go to an event, every time I meet somebody involved with the company, every time I meet someone on the team, it's just more credibility, more credibility, more credibility. And it's exceeded my expectations. And I've done a lot of really great things, I'm blessed to be a part of really great things that we're doing great things in the world. And this has been by far the best thing that I've ever done and the best opportunity I've ever had.
I love that. We get a lot of people who they believe that they have no more market or no market at all. They've been there, they've done that. Like I would love to do this, Amy. If you're prospecting me and we're talking and I say I would love to do this, but I don't have a single person to talk to ask. I don't know anybody. What would you do next?
Well, I do get that actually. Um, but it's interesting because we all know that we do have people. It may not be people that we want to reach out to. We may feel like that we have burned people. But, one thing that I was taught with this is, I know you have every reason not to look, but I still feel like you should see this. And with conviction and the fact that I know that I know that I know that this would be good for them to see. It's funny because I was actually one of those people. Not that I don't have people to call. I have like 20,000 people on my phone. I had plenty of people to call. I didn't want to call them, because I was burnt out. And I remember telling, because at some point you can get leads in our new project. And I was like, all I want is leads. I don't want to call anybody. I like, do I have to get a certain amount before I can get leads? Like I was pretty much kicking and screaming the whole process. Now, funny enough, I don't want leads. I can't wait to call people that I love and care about, because I want them to be blessed by this opportunity. So I do see the possibility of that shifting, that
Hmm.
it's not necessarily we don't have people, it's just getting the courage to reach out to those people. And I think sometimes that we feel like we've let them down in the past, then, or they've trusted us. It's not really us that let them down. Maybe it was the opportunity that let them down. Now, sometimes it could be that we did, but I feel like people are very forgiving. And I feel like if they have like this DNA of an entrepreneur still in the back of their mind, even if they don't want to look, they're like, well, maybe I should look, like just in case, like let me look so I can tell them no.
Yeah.
But and I was mad too. I was like, gosh, this is so good. Why did I look?
Yeah.
Like, because I was just like so done. I was like, okay, I'm gonna like not do corporate, but I'm just gonna like find something else that I can do that, you don't have to do it from home, whatever. Like, I don't know, I'm gonna create something. And, it's just so nice when you have projects like this, because a lot of times there's a lot of things done for you that you don't have to stress about, you don't have to figure out, you don't have to worry about. So it's just been awesome because, there's the opportunity of getting leads, in our new project. And so I think that gives people the courage to just get out there and try one more time, throw their heart over the bar one more time, as we've heard before. Just one more shot. And I've just seen so many people flourish that just had the courage to do it one more time.
I love that. Yeah. Oh, such good stuff. Such good stuff. Okay, so now you're building a team. You're over six figures. You're probably working towards a trip. What does your day look like? Are you on your phone and on your Zoom and behind it for 8 hours a day?
No, I mean, you'd probably laugh. I can tell you some stories actually of like how I built my business, like in the beginning.
Yeah, please.
Some of the people we work with can confirm these stories.
Okay.
So I remember there was like, okay, so this is a really funny story. I'm doing a million things, like picking up my son from school line, like dropping him off at school. And so there was 2 days left in the month, and I was like, well, maybe I should do something. I probably, what goal do I want to hit? Okay, I'm going to do it today. And I think I had, okay, so that was 2 days until the last of the month. So I started working and I was two away from a goal I was going to hit. And I dropped my son off at school. I took a bite of a protein bar. And when I took a bite of a protein bar, the crown on my tooth just came completely off. And I'm like, I have the whole day blocked off to hit my goal. Like, I want to do this. And like, my tooth was hurting so bad. And I was like, oh my gosh, I did not plan to spend the day at the dentist. Well, the dentist usually numbs your mouth and it's really hard to talk whenever your mouth is numb. So I was sitting in the dentist chair talking to some of our leadership in this new project. And I'm like, barely known one of them. And I'm like, and I was like, oh my God. And he goes, I've never quite seen anything like this. Like I hit my goal in the dentist chair with my mouth numb. I had to call somebody from the office and they happened to say, well, I used to be a dental hygienist. And like, anyway, it was this whole thing. I ended up hitting my goal, but I was like, shoot, you can do this from anywhere with any amount of time you have. And so that was just one really funny story. I can't tell you how many times I've just like pulled over on the side of the road. Like maybe I'm doing a Zoom call and while it's on, I've cooked, given my child a bath, maybe like ran an errand and got all the way back, but my camera's off. And that's the beauty of like sometimes when you have systems that run for you, you can accomplish other things while you're doing that. So I'm just doing live and it's just been fun. And just to throw in, it's really possible to travel and have lots of fun and be really successful. We did 7 trips in January and February, including like Legoland Resort and all these fun things. So I'm still able to live life, make memories. And I did do some Zoom calls and a couple phone calls from the pool, which is fun. So you can make it really fun. You can choose to work outside or at the pool when you're an entrepreneur. So that's really fun because we can work from anywhere. So I can be in a beautiful place and choose to do a Zoom call or two and still not feel like I'm working. So
Yeah, I know for sure, like for my own, I've been in this industry for a really long time. So sometimes I take for granted what I know and what I can do. But what I've learned when I got started, it was a similar story. It was 4 months of the last I'm sorry, the last 4 days of the month. And I just said, all right, I'm gonna do it and hit this rank, and then don't call me because I had a job, right? I had something else that was bringing in my primary income. So I was like, I'm gonna do this in my first week. Everyone I thought would tell me, yeah, told me no. And I was like, oh, you really are starting again from scratch. Like, oh, so got into the feels a little bit and then kept going. And for the first few months, I worked a week a month. But what I'm learning, even now that I'm, not full time hours, but full time committed, it really like it's a week for me, but then for Chris it's this week, or for Shanessa it's this. Like it's all of us going. Well, we can just pump out a lot of great activity for a week because what we're doing is supporting the next person and their week and their week and their week. And it doesn't have to necessarily be like a drawn out 8 hour day. I mean, going slow sucks. And I feel like people have this perception of like, we work from 8 a.m. and to 12 p.m. And I know people think like Jen works hard. And I'm like, no, I pick up the phone because I love you. I don't actually work very hard at all. But there are weeks or there are seasons where I'm definitely a little more intentional with helping someone hit their own personal goal. But we don't work full time like we're led to believe is necessary. And I think a lot of that is the unlearning of how to bring money into our lives.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I love that in the new project that we're working with that we're getting trained to, okay, don't get on the phone all the time. It's like Oh yeah, don't get on the phone all the time. Like, just like you said, unlearning the stuff because we love people, we want to talk. But there are such things as voice text and like people actually really like that and they're fast. So just, learning those kind of systems and also just having a community that we got each other's backs and we help each other. And if you can't answer the question, I got you. I'll answer. Somebody will answer, and we don't feel like we have to be glued to our phone 24/7. And, there are seasons, like you said, like it was so fruitful and so rewarding and so many people winning. And it was fun to be there with them. It was fun to help them hit their goals. And so you can choose like, do I want to work this much or do I not want to work this much? And just know that the wheels are not going to fall off if we have to go, take our kid to the zoo for a day. Like everything is going to be perfect and fine. So it's just such a relief. Um, in that area because like it doesn't matter if we need to disappear because life happens to us. We have people who have our back that are going to support us.
Yeah, and it's really cool when you go to the zoo and log in and your team grew by 5 or 6 or 7 and you were at the zoo because of the
Yes.
example you led in the beginning.
Yes, and that's how it's supposed to work. And like before, it might be that you logged in and it was less than. And so now it's just so great. Like it's been very consistent growth. And it's so fun. And like it's just duplication every day. And I mean, that's just what it's supposed to be. So it's just so rewarding to see it actually work the way we've always been told that it would. So.
Mhm. What advice would you give somebody that's watching now that is like open and curious and still like, I don't know? Or maybe they're not willing to give up social media, which they don't have to, but hypothetically speaking.
Yeah. Well, I can tell maybe a story of someone that I'm working with. I would consider her a mini influencer. She could hop on social media and she could probably get tons of leads. But she chose to follow a system where she didn't have to be dependent on social media. And I've seen her completely flourish. I know she had built other projects in the past and didn't really have the duplication that she wanted. And, she's the type of person that, she runs a ministry and she has to, do other things and has lots of kids and all the stuff. So, she was somebody that I thought would probably never do this without social media. And it's just been so incredible to watch her wildly succeed, without needing it. So, I just think it's possible, obviously, with both ways, but just seeing somebody who, pretty much did everything from that platform be able to win has been really amazing to watch.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. Awesome. Do you guys, so we're done a little on the earlier side. I would love if anyone has a question for Amy, if they want to pop off and do any Q&As before we finish it up. Does anybody have any questions? We'll give it a minute because they weren't expecting this, but since we have some extra time.
Yeah, I saw some things in the chat too, but I didn't want to read them all just in case.
I don't, yeah, it will distract me too. So we can read
Yeah, it
them
would
now if we
distract
see
me. So
any. Yeah. If you guys have any questions or you want to pop off, say anything, say hi, now's your
I
chance.
recognize Ashley Wold, her name.
Hmm. How do we get
Just
legal?
reading some of y'all's comments. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can share that would be valuable. One thing I could add is that really it's the people that we get to help. Their stories make everything worth it. There was a lady that I really didn't know very well, and I got introduced to her through this new project. And I got a phone call from her basically just saying that her daughter had passed away 3 years before, and she did not want to talk to anybody. And this is the first time this kind of business actually got her wanting to talk to human beings again. And so just is like so amazing the power that we have to be able to help people. We don't know what people are going through, what capacity this could serve them, but Some people are dying for community. Some people need like some interaction. Some people need stuff to do from home. Sometimes they're just with the kids all day and they need an outlet of like adult conversations. And so there's just so many opportunities that we can actually be a blessing to other people. So I just want to encourage everybody. I think it's amazing that you're on here trying to learn all this stuff. Jen is a rock star and amazing at helping people. So I just want to commend you all for, taking the time to listen, and also just want to cheer you on and encourage you that what you're doing is amazing and that you can wildly succeed, bigger than anything you think is possible.
Well, your time is valuable. Your story is incredible. Thank you from the bottom of my heart because I always love learning from you as a mom, as a wife, as someone who I saw the $20,000 check. I'd like one of those checks from one system, and I'd like for Shanessa to get one, and for Chris to get one, and Terry to get one, and everyone else to get one. And I do believe that there is safe for us here. I do believe that. Sometimes we make decisions and we figure it out on the way, and sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's slow. But I think we all go at a speed that's safe for us. And I think it's safe for a lot of us to really, really pick up the phone and go, okay, I've been sitting on something, I've been evaluating something, I've been looking at something, and now I'm ready to call you and share with you. And all you got to do is say yes to giving me 30 minutes of your time. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing. Any last words for anybody?
I would just say that as much as you can like press in and get the information of like if you want to like feel safe and know that something's going to work, that's what I had to do. I was kicking myself for starting so slow now that I know what I know. But of course, if we knew that, then we would go fast. So for me, it's like I'll share some funny stuff with you later, Jen, of just like how much I was like, I don't know if I'm really here. Like going to a big event and kind of hiding from people.
Oh,
And now it's just like, okay, now I like, can't wait. Like the more stories I can hear, the more confirmation I can get. And just to see when I did go fast. And like you said, fast is fun and slow sucks, I guess you can say. When you do go fast, you get momentum and it's more fun. And so I kind of was kicking myself for not going fast in the beginning. But I'm so grateful now. And I think that's why I have such a passion to help people go fast. Because I'm like, just if you're going to do this, just dive all in. What's the worst that can happen? We've all survived things in the past.
yeah.
So, and we're still here and we're still alive and we still have amazing people in our lives. And so anyway, yeah. So I would just say, just press in and learn as much as you can from Jen because she's amazing. And if I can do anything at all to serve anyone in the community, I'd be happy to help or answer any kind of questions that you have or anything I can do to add value.
Hmm. Well, we thank you for your time. It was an absolute honor hearing your story. I will see you for sure in Punta Cana, if not sooner. So thank you
Awesome.
for
Can't
sharing with
wait.
us. All right, if you guys got this video from someone else, you're just going to get back to them and say you want to take a look at our project. That's it. It's 30 minutes. You'll take a look. You'll decide if it's a fit for you. All right, we'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys.